So dark. Let me turn some extra, get some extra light on there. There we go. That's how we gonna do it. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna put it. We're just gonna put it right back up there. We're gonna put it right back up there. There we go. All right. Ugh, I don't like that yellowish cast it's putting, but it's all good. All right, you guys. I decided I'm going to do a intuitive reading today. Let me put this phone on mute before I get out and get started. Sometimes you got to go back to the things that helped you from the beginning, right? So I have my Psychic Tarot deck today, and I have my Archangel Raphael. So if you're watching this video today, this intuitive reading, I decided it's story time. So I'm gonna just tell a couple of stories based off of what the cards are saying, right? Whose story? Who knows? Could be my story, could be your story, could be anybody's story. But before I get started, I want to put my disclaimer out there, okay? During the reading, let me put it down here this way, y'all might be able to see the cards. During the readings, I may understand, you may not. You may understand, I may not. There you go. We both may understand during the reading, or we both may not understand during the reading. I'm going to ask that you respect my perspective, and I will also respect your perspective as well. If the information that you're receiving is different from the information I'm providing, it's quite all right. Please share the message because it may be for me or someone else. Please do not use these readings as a form of therapy or advice. You've been blessed with the gift of discernment. So take the information you need and throw the rest absolutely away. So we're going to start out with Archangel Raphael Healing Deck, which is one of my very first decks that I ever got. It was gifted to me. Archangel Raphael helps with health. To me, I utilize him for mental, emotional, and spiritual health issues, right? So we'll do that. I'm going to start off by doing a little bibliomancy. If you're new here to the channel and you don't know what bibliomancy is when you trust the process of the book. You're going to say, you know what? This is what I need and this is what it's for. And then we're just going to flip through, and whatever page it lands on, this is our guidance. Okay. I feel like let's tell a story about, okay, I'm just going to go with this. I feel like I also need to look up, okay, this, I forget what stone this is, but it's going to come to mind in just a minute. I'm pretty sure it's going to come to mind in a minute. But this one has to do with, this one is Red Adventurine. Let's take a look. Before I even pull, let's get started with Red Adventurine. The story that I'm going to tell is a story about a person who needs to recover from being betrayed. Whether that betrayal is friendship, whether that betrayal is being cheated on by a romantic partner, whether that betrayal is a friend that was now no longer a friend. Let's see. Red Adventurine, spiritual stone meaning. Let's see what pops up. All right. Red Adventurine is a stone that motivates one to take physical actions that makes dreams come true. It opens the flow of chi into the physical body, bringing vitality, energy that heals and dispels negative thought forms and beliefs that create lethargy and feelings of being disconnected. I'm just gonna put that right in there. All right. So let's get started with our story. So let's just start off and say, once upon a time, we're going to start with hydration. Once upon a time, the health condition you are asking about would benefit from an increase in water intake. There seems to be some dehydration involved, which has lowered your energy and create imbalances. The first type of dehydration that I'm thinking about is you having the ability to be able to pour into yourself. You are dehydrated. You are not pouring into yourself, and nobody else is pouring into you and feeding you. So once upon a time, dehydration took place. It's time to increase the amount of water that you or the person for whom you're inquiring drink. It's time for you to start pouring back into yourself. Now, how you got to this place, it doesn't matter. But what matters is now it's time for you to start pouring back into your space. Even better, pray over the water prior to drinking it in order to infuse the liquid with healing and energy. How perfect. I have a bottle of water right here, right? I did this experiment once upon a time where I took the label off and I had 2 bottles of water. One I wrote positive things on. The other one I wrote negative things on, right? Negative. And then them both in the freezer. When I took both the bottles out, right? The one that had the negative words on it, you could see this large column of ice in the middle, right? And the one that had the positive words on it had this small column of ice going down. Now, when I showed this to people, I was like, would you like this bottle of negative water? And nobody wanted to drink it, right? Nobody wanted to drink that water. I think we ended up throwing the bottle away, but nobody wanted to drink it. But everybody was like, I'll drink this water, right? And the same goes true with our life when we're hydrating ourselves. Sometimes we will have that bottle of negative water, right? We'll have all those negative experiences going on around us. We'll have negative people going on around us. Everything is negative, right? But we drink of it anyway. Why do we drink of it anyway? Because if I was to give you these 2 different bottles and say choose, you wouldn't choose the negative bottle. You would choose the positive one, right? So once upon a time, you made a decision to drink of the water that was not serving you. By drinking that negative water, just like that bigger column that was in there, the negativity took up more space than the positive. It takes more positivity, more energy to keep yourself positive than it does negative. Negative is easy. It's going to fill up way more space. And then it's harder to get rid of. It's more challenging to get rid of those unpleasant experiences, right? So if once upon a time you were dehydrated, here's the prayer. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for motivating and guiding me to drink more water so that my health, energy, and appetite stay at optimal levels throughout each day. So make sure you are keeping yourself hydrated. This is going to be for the person that adores, this is how I'm hearing it, adores and loves the color red. Easy does it. Once upon a time. This card is a reminder to stop, slow down, relax, and breathe. Breathe. If you're not familiar with breathing techniques, this is the time to Google, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Instagrog. Do whatever you need to do and look up certain breathing exercises, or this is your reminder that, hey, there is a way to balance yourself through breath work. So make sure you take time to do some breath work. Archangel Raphael says that you've been pushing hard against the grain of life with an exhausting effect. Therefore, he's guiding you to take it easy and give any worries or cares to him. Sometimes situations resolve themselves. I literally just said that to somebody the other day. They had a customer, and there was a customer that they were like, when I first started my business, I was charging this price, and I've been servicing their yard. But you know what? This person also helped me. And because this person also helped me, I kind of feel obligated to keep them at this price. But at the same time, the prices of everything has gone up. And I said, well, even entrepreneurs, right? Even entrepreneurs have the desire to get a raise, right? And the only person that's going to give an entrepreneur a raise is the entrepreneur. And then he said, you know what? I just recalled that I think that he may be moving, because he mentioned that the other day, that he may be moving. And I said, well, it sounds like that problem is going to solve itself. So maybe just chill and let's see if he moves, right? So sometimes you will have other issues going on in your life, and all you have to do is just sit back, relax, and chill. I was listening to Joel Osteen this morning, and he was like, if you remember who you are and whose you are, then you won't have to worry about those problems. One of the examples, meaning that you are covered, this is what I'm feeling, is that you will be covered, right? And one of the things that he talked about, he shared a story of some baby cubs, and they were, out there, baby bear cubs that were out there, and there were some wolves that were approaching. And the closer and closer they got, the baby bears weren't worried about anything. They were just sitting there chilling, like, okay, because they knew they were protected. He said when the wolves got about 20 feet from the cubs, Mama Bear jumped out. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want none of this smoke. You don't want none of this smoke. You don't want none of this smoke, right? To protect. And the reason why those baby bears weren't afraid is because they knew Mama Bear was there. And what Joel Osteen was indicating is, and what I am going to indicate is, whatever your belief system is, whatever your belief system in God is, or your higher power, or belief in yourself, whatever your belief system is, it's there, right? So some things you have to just pray, meditate, ask, and trust the process. All right. We're going to go on to the prayer, and the prayer says, Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me detach, retreat, and let go so that healing can occur. All right, so now we're going to go over to the cards, right? Because some of you is like, I really like cards, right? So remember, so far the message is stay hydrated by pouring into yourself, right? Make sure you're doing some breath work, right? And make sure that you are taking it easy and not stressing out. You don't have to solve everything. You do not have to fix everything. Sometimes you have to remember that your higher power is there for you, right? Whatever your belief system is there for you. Okay. Now it says diet is important here. So we're going to talk about two types of diet. The very first one, before I can even read it, is the first diet is the diet of your spirit. What are you doing to feed your spirit? Are you doing something daily to fill your spirit, right? Fill, F-I-L-L, and feel, F-E-E-L, your spirit. What are you doing? Are you reading? Are you listening audio? Are you talking by praying, meditating, and asking? Are you being grateful? What are you doing in your diet, right? Diet does not mean losing weight. Diet means what are you doing nutritionally, right? To feed. Feed what? Your spirit. What are you doing to balance your emotion? If you are overly emotional, are you allowing yourself the opportunity to get that out and let that out, or are you suppressing it? Everything that you suppress is going to rise back up. It's like putting something in a crock pot or a pressure cooker, right? And if you have ever used a pressure cooker, my one of my customers told me a story about how she has trauma from a pressure cooker because she put all the food in there, and you know, I guess you put like the top on there to seal it, right? So that the food can get nice and tender and soft. And it was like, pow, exploded, right? Ever since then, she was like, I'm not going to mess with that. Matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, she said someone else had that experience. And so because someone else had that experience, it made her afraid to even try. She's got a brand new pressure cooker and ain't never used it. Right? But that's what happens. That's a perfect example of you put all of this stuff down, you suppress it, and that pressure cooker is trying to hold, it's trying to maintain. And what happens is when it's too much pressure, it blows up. The people around you that see you blow up are like, oh my gosh, I need to be careful. I need to give this person some space, or are you okay? Like that's saying, are you okay? Right? You have to give that person a little bit of space because you don't know what's going on. But what you didn't know was they was holding on. Stop, Coco. Stop, Coco. What you didn't know was going on is that they made a choice to suppress and push all of these things down. And so now everything is blowing up, right? So in your diet, in your meal, what are you doing spiritually, emotionally, and mentally to feed yourself? Now, if you are also on a physical journey, right, then the things that you eat are also important. What I would like for you to do as a homework assignment, one or two things. You can Google, right? Stop. You can Google, or you can also use the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. It's a wonderful book that you have, right? And you can look up the spiritual meanings of the words, and you can look up the medicinal readings of the words. So let's do blueberries, because I have blueberries, but I want to show you guys how to do this, right? Blueberry spiritual meaning. All right. So it says blueberries hold a profound spiritual significance that transcends, watch out, tier numerous healthy benefits as a symbol of protection, wisdom, and inner growth. Okay, that's just a little bit. All right, that's just a little bit, just so you guys have the idea, right? Protection, wisdom, and inner growth. All right, so now let's go to blueberry medicinal properties, right? And we're going to see what they say, or you can say blueberry health benefits, whichever one is going to be better for you and suffice for you, right? This phone was like, I don't like that. So let's do blueberry medicinal benefits. And while it's pulling that up, I'm going to put this back in here. I'm going to shuffle more cards, right? So if there are certain things that you are eating and you're eating them repeatedly over and over again, take time to see what it is, even if it's meat or whatever. Just look these various things up, but especially your fruits and vegetables. And if you're not eating fruits and vegetables, this is your sign that you need to absolutely get back on adding fruits and vegetables. You know, if you're like, I don't like vegetables, it's one out there that you like. Figure it out. All right, blueberries. Okay, this is medicinal properties. Blueberries are often called a superfood. This small but mighty berry is loaded with nutrients. They may help lower blood pressure, prevent heart disease, improve memory, and aid in exercise recovery, and more. Blueberries are sweet, nutritious, and wildly popular. So there you go. And I know I've been eating blueberries for a while now, so and it's providing everything that I need. So on a physical level and on a spiritual level, now you know with your intention. You can even set your intention. I pray over my food, or I call it blessing my food. Some people call it cleansing my food, or clearing, or whatever your process is to make sure whatever it is that you're wanting to put into your body is going to be cleansed and cleared. Make sure you set that intention, right? All right. So let's do one more, and then we're going to do one more out of the Psychic Tarot deck, and then we'll wrap it up. Once upon a time, I'm not even gonna say anything. Once upon a time. Well, what just popped in my head is if you like the color green. Once upon a time, the color green. Once upon a time, the color green. And it's not a lime green. It's like a dark, kind of like a dark green. Once upon a time, the color dark green decided to, let's see. Once upon a time, the color dark green decided to become caffeine free. Now, easy does it. whoever these easy does it, y'all just can't get away from that easy does it, right? Because we already pulled the easy does it, right? So remember, when you go through this caffeine, you may go through this giving up this caffeine, you may go through emotional, mental, and spiritual discomfort because you've allowed this particular thing, right, to control your moods. All right. Um, what's the next thing? While you're going through this process of being caffeine free and giving yourself grace to do it, make sure that you get out and you get you some fresh air. All right. And then have faith. What is faith to you? Insert here. What is faith to you? So for me, I have two definitions of faith. Faith is the belief in yourself and knowing that everything is going to be okay. Faith is also the belief in yourself and knowing that everything is going to be okay, including your higher power, right? So for those of you with the color green, you can also let's look it up. Let's see what's going on here, right? Let's look up the color dark green, because colors have meanings as well, right? To me, typically, most times the darker colors can mean that there is something tumultuous, maybe kind of brewing or going on. The lighter colors to me kind of represent dark green spiritual meaning. The lighter colors to me represent a little bit more of elevation. Okay. So let's see. Color green, spiritual meaning, symbolism, and representation. Dark green is a rich and powerful color that holds a lot of symbolism. It is often associated with nature and the earth, representing growth. And let's click on it and see growth and okay, growth and new beginnings. So if you have the dark green color that comes out to me, maybe you may be in a heavier vibration or a lower vibration right now. And so now you're like, I need to come out of it. You know, back in the day, my ex-father-in-law taught me this a long time ago. And this is what this is reminding me of in this moment. Have you ever drank, got hungover? If you haven't, then just listen to the story. But have you ever drank, you had a hangover, you get up the next day and you feel like crap, right? And they got all these remedies you can go to the store and buy and drink and all this kind of stuff, right? But back in the day, my father-in-law was like, if you want to get rid of a hangover, what you do is you take a shot. I'm not recommending this. You take a shot of whatever it was that you were drinking and it will offset it. I mean, it did work, but why does that work? Why does that work? It's a whole nother question. So to me, with the dark green, right? Because like I said, to me, the darker colors sometimes represent a lower vibration. So sometimes, in order to, just like with the shot, right? In order to get out of a place, you have to come back to it. So with this dark green spiritual meaning, what it's saying to me is, if you are feeling that dark green energy, this could be your confirmation that, what does it say? It's often associated with nature and earth. It's time to get out in nature. It's time to ground, trying to walk. Just like you said, getting rid of the caffeine, getting out easy does it, getting out all those things and representing that it's time for you to grow and have new beginnings, cleaning, cleansing, making new space, right? So if you're feeling the dark green, then it's time for some changes to take place. So now we're going to tell the last story, right? From the Psychic Tarot. I like this deck because it's not only a It's not only a oracle deck, but it is also a tarot deck. Okay, I have the memories of love. This is just wisdom and intuition. I guess we're just going to go with those cards. Once upon a time, a person decided to utilize their intuition, right? They wanted to receive wisdom because this is why they decided to listen to their self, because they wanted to receive wisdom. What came to them, and here we go with the dark green, right? The dark green border, which we just talked about, the color dark green, right? But what came instead was memories of love. So let's go to the book and see what memories and love. It's number 6. Number 6. Green border, number 6, 103. All right. Memories of love. You may find yourself walking down memory lane at this time. This nostalgic card could indicate that an old friend or acquaintance from the past may step back into your life, or it could even resurrect loving images from days gone by. Does this person, these happy forgotten moments, or those innocent childhood memories encourage you to recall and welcome the energy of love? Is there a message or lesson from these fond recollections that could benefit you in your present life? The number 6 card relates to support, dedication, unity, and a need for balance in the areas of emotion and love. Your heart and soul are asking you not to dwell in the past, but use the inspiration and joy from that time to assist you in the here and now. And the best way to do that is to listen to your intuition and also gain wisdom. And there's a book here, gain wisdom through knowledge, right? And the knowledge can come from books, the knowledge can come from people, the knowledge can come from videos, it can come from music, and come from all areas. So make sure that you're at this time, that you're taking the time to balance the love first and foremost for yourself. If you are not figuring out how to love yourself, it's like RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else, right? And I do truly believe that. And sometimes when people would say things like that when I was younger, I never quite understood what they meant. And people were always saying, Tina, you need to love yourself. You need to have your value, your worth, and things like that. And I could never quite understand what they meant by that. It wasn't until I got in my late 40s that I finally started to understand. So no matter what stage of life you are in, what stage of your journey you are in, if you are still seeking on how to balance love in your life, and remember, love does not just mean romantic, right? Because when people, are you in love? People will make either the comment, girl, yeah, I'm in love with myself, or they'll be like, I haven't found love yet, meaning with another person, but figure out what love means to you so that you can attract it and bring it in. Sometimes people from the past will come in and they will remind you, or certain memories from the past will come in and remind you, this is the good part. You don't have to keep the bad part. You can remember the good part, and then you can add that to your definition of love. Okay. I love you guys. Y'all have an awesome and amazing day. Make sure that you compliment at least 10 people a day, because you never know whose life you can change. You never know whose vibration you can raise up, and you never know what door of opportunity you can open up by simply paying a compliment. Make sure that you take time for yourself today. Remember, there's something going on down there at the bottom. Right, I was just reminding myself and searching how to balance love and how to do shadow work. Blessings. Blessing, Deanna. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Blessings, Deanna. Yes. Make sure that we are taking time today. What did we talk about? We talked about hydration, talked about hydration of the spirit, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Make sure that you are pouring the right things into yourself and that you're allowing the right people to pour into you. We talked about breath work. We also talked about easy does it, right? We also talked about caffeine as well. Making sure that if you're the person that's going on a caffeine break, that the caffeine has been allowed to alter your moods and perceptions, and it's time for you now to not, rely on that. Oh my goodness, my little doggy. Okay, he's just on my leg. It's time that caffeine, remember when you're going through that experience of the caffeine withdrawal, so to speak, right? When you're going through that moment, remember this is the thing that has been controlling your moods. I'm going to encourage you to look it up and see what are ways that caffeine can help you and also hurt you, right? Because there's a reason why you're having to balance that, right? We also talked about suppressing your emotions, and why it's not good to suppress it. We talked about the pressure cooker. We also talked about, what else we talked about, Coco? As we talked about quite a bit. We talked about the color dark green and how if the dark green color is coming out, it's because it's time for you to grow and uplift. Maybe you have been in somewhat of a dark place, but the dark green is just like I said with that shot of liquor. After you have a hangover, sometimes you got to take a little sip of it. So maybe that dark green is reminding you may be in a dark place right now, but that green is going to help you to grow. And maybe it's dark and green because when it's planted in the soil, it's dark. But when you sprout up through the soil, you're going to be bright. What else did we talk about, Coco? We talked about the color red, right? What happened? What happened with the color red? I can't remember. You got to rewind back on the video. Let me see a couple more messages. Yes, you said it right. Oh, someone stole my puppy last Saturday. I'm so sorry, love. We're going to send out love and healing and prayers that he's safe, and hopefully somebody will let him maybe he'll escape and come back. I'm hoping, because I do understand. I love little Coco, my little fur baby. And what else did we talk about? Make sure that you compliment at least 10 people, because you never know whose life you can change. You never know whose vibration you can raise up, and you never know what door of opportunity you can open up by simply paying a compliment. And last but not least, I have to fix this on my website, but if you are interested, please let me know. I do offer a class. Right now, I'm offering it for $10. It is a 1-hour class about my magic words that helps you to redefine words and shifting and changing your experiences emotionally, mentally, and spiritually by shifting and changing your definitions, hereby taking your unpleasant experiences, right? You can take pleasant ones too, but we're going to focus on some of the unpleasant experiences and the trigger words and phrases that triggered you. And we're going to switch it so that you can get your power back, because we can't have people walking up to you triggering you by saying certain words, because there may be new people that come into your life that you're like, they don't know that they're triggering you, right? They don't know that they're triggering you. And so we're going to fix that for you. So my magic words class is an amazing class. Go to my website, bookwithtina.com. You can request it there. I'm going to go back and fix it. So I'm going to add it. Like I said, right now I'm doing it for $10. I've introed it. I've already taught this class several times. Everybody has gotten something from it. So I really hope that you guys go ahead and get the sign up for the class. If one person shows up, I'm going to do one. If 100 people show up, I'm going to do it. Right now I'm offering the class every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time or 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesday. So if you're interested, let me know. Okay. I love you. There's one more message down there. You are so welcome, my love. Y'all have an awesome and amazing day. Go out there, be great. Go back and watch some more of my videos. Make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on, like, share, subscribe. Love y'all. Mwah. Bye. Isn't it good, Coco?